Hey guys, Hawnley and Lance back at TCG Fix. Tonight we're opening more Time Spiral Remastered draft packs. So
That's right.
We'll go through them like the last video. We will review the packs like we were drafting and kind of talk about what would be our first picks. I am the less seasoned player, so I'm the Timmy of the group, and I'm rare drafting.
Yeah.
If this is $2, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
And Hawnley is the seasoned player. He's like, I'm trying to win this.
Yeah. I do have a Spike tournament grinder in my binder to remind me of what I am. I accept that.
I love it when people play to win.
Yeah.
Then they get their packs. And turns out that they're all so shit. Yeah. So,
yeah, but I've played plenty of Grand Prix and Magic Fest and those things in my time, and I enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah, play, I think if you're trying to do like pro play, then this is helpful information to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think this is helpful to me too, just because it makes me a better player. So
yeah, it is one of those things, and go ahead and get started with the first pack. So we have 2-3 packs here. It is one of those things where I think. Learning the basic draft strategy. It's very interesting. This is like a time capsule sort of thing, right? You sort of see what this is, what Magic was like back in the day, and you can see how Magic has evolved over time. So
that's the part that I really like most about playing older Magic sets is they feel different.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Time Spiral was like this gift to go back. I don't know, 10? Has it been 15 years?
Oh,
I want to say 2008, 2009.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, this was a gift to kind of relived this past set. Because if you were to buy these boxes at the time, they were so expensive.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Great first pick, potentially.
All right.
Aaron Ephemeron has evasion, which is important.
Yep.
And is a 4 toughness, which blanks a lot of the damage that we've seen. Blanks Ichor Slick, it blanks Rift Bolt, it blanks all those sort of things.
Let's see. Minions Murmur.
Molten Slag Heap. A little bit of fixing if you're in those colors, I guess.
And a rare.
Jaya.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I remember her being really good. And then, if this was pick 1, I'd be like, okay, I'm forcing the discard deck now. Yeah.
Some sort of red,
Black.
Madness, something like that.
Ooh.
But also a true name in the back. Interesting.
That's a tough pick there.
That's definitely difficult. And then Tuco Shaman. Well, so we saw in the commons, of course, there are our limited all-star common Aaron Ephemeron. But I think if we look at these 2 cards, there is the argument for both of them. I think you're right, Lance. Jaya Ballard does, this basically turns on all the madness.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable to play. True Name is also quite good as we see because it's just 3 damage a turn. Once again, though, there is the consideration that there are 2 excellent blue cards and 1 excellent red card. So if you take the red card, it makes it more likely that people who to your left will be playing blue. And also Jaya is one of those things where it just makes you want to pick all the madness cards after that.
Totally.
Whereas with blue, it's just generally good blue stuff, which nothing wrong with that. Suspend is a very strong mechanic. But I think it's close. I think for me, because it's the 1 red versus the 2 blue, with these close decisions like this, I think I do take the Jaya and then take this sort of things because Jaya basically gives you removal. Just 3 damage. This is lightning bolt on a stick.
Yeah.
Then with madness, it's not even, you don't even give up the card draw that way.
Exactly. So at that point, I'd be like, I'm making a madness deck.
Yep, we're taking red. We're playing madness, which I think is interesting because if you look at the relative power of the different colors, we're not even talking about the color combinations. Obviously, white black has some rebel themes, and red and black has some discard themes and those sort of things. Red is actually the weakest color. There aren't that many great red commons.
See, that's a good thing to keep in mind. But I mean, if you're just playing the set and you didn't research it,
but having played it a little bit, red does not have a lot of good commons. And the thing is that when you're drafting, commons make up most of your deck. So the higher the average quality of your commons, the more synergy or the more powerful your limited deck is going to be.
Do you like this one? I mean, suspend 3.
It's okay. I mean, it's fine, but there's just better. It's like our friend Sprawl engine because it's a 4/4. It's much harder to remove. Most, as we saw, Riftbolt only does 3.
Yeah.
Icarus only does -3, -3.
Yeah.
Those sort of things. So we've seen a lot of Sprawl Ancients. It's quite good.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, I mean, you kind of need to know the set, right?
Yeah,
like if you
absolutely.
have a 4/4 and then it's just almost impossible to deal with.
4 toughness is very difficult to deal with. Yeah, that's true. Summoner's Pact. So I think this card is interesting. It's not very good, I think, as a first pick because you're not guaranteed for a big bomby green card.
Yeah.
That's the main problem.
Nice.
If you're already playing green and this is pack 2, pack 3, I think it's a reasonable first pick, but it's too conditional right now.
Okay.
Right? So,
Oh.
Feldon of the Third Path. It seems, it doesn't seem to do. It doesn't.
Ooh,
hey, look.
Ooh,
That's pretty.
And it's got the shooting. Ooh,
yeah.
These were the foils that everybody was chasing. Like these are hard to get.
Yeah, about 1.5 per 36 packs. I think it's 1 per 24. I think is what.
But I mean, they are pretty.
They are very nice.
Hold on, let's turn on the light.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Man, if only that was Ponder. Pay for all of the packs.
No, exactly. You got Fibble Flip.
Yeah.
Fibble Flip.
Fibble Flip. Like the third version of it or what have you. But yeah.
That's cool art though.
Yeah,
and actually
nice.
the border is really nice.
No, of course. The old school borders always look nice. And I'm glad I got one. They're not easy to get. I think for this one, I really think Sporoloth Ancient. There's not a lot here. Feldon of the Third Path, I think, is reasonable. If you already playing some sort of deck, like if this would be perfect in pack 2 actually, because if we take the Jaya, then we can use the Feldon and we can use the tokens to sack to deal 3 damage and all and all those sort of things. I think.
Nice.
Or actually no.
No, you have to discard.
We have to discard. Yeah. So Feldon's not great. I mean, if there's some sack outlets that we have, it might be okay. Again, Summoner's Pack, you need big green creatures, probably more than one, because nothing is worse than having already played your big green creature and it's in your hand, and then you draw the Summoner's Pack, which is a much more deader card. You don't want to spend 4 mana to draw a 3-drop, right? I think it's Sporoloth Ancient. I don't think it's particularly close. Citadel Woodreaders would be the second pick, but it's also a green card, and I think it's Sporoloth Ancient. It's not that close. Halberdier is probably the third top 5 red commons. But it's also not particularly powerful because it only has 1 toughness. The first strike is good.
Shot.
It gets hit by a lot of things. Yeah. So the first strike is useful, but this shows how weak red is as a color. I think.
Yes.
You really are looking for Rift Bolt and and like 1 or 2 other things in red to really fill it out. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's why, and it's interesting, right? Because nowadays when you look at a lot of Magic modern sets, it's what 2 colors are combination is the weakest. Back in the day, it's what was the weakest color, so it's tricky. Red has a lot of interesting things. This is a good card.
I was going to say, I remember this being a good card, and especially for playing Jaya.
Yeah.
Like, this is a good payoff.
Or just even being black. Having 4 toughness, very difficult to deal with.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's true. in this format, 3 toughness is removable, 4 toughness becomes less so.
Blightspeaker
also reasonable. We have Dirkwood Baloth, also an excellent green card. Has 5 toughness. Even though it comes in off suspend, it's a 5/5. It's very difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Again, thing you can see a lot of this removal deals 2 damage, 3 damage, those sort of things. Does not deal 4 damage. Does not deal 5 damage. So any creatures that have great 4 or 5 or greater toughness, definitely quite good.
This card does a lot, but it also hurts you pretty good.
It does, but in red, having some card draw is useful. I wouldn't say, but again, this builds the theme of red is probably the weakest color. Probably not going to be your primary color.
Yeah.
Those sort of things.
Yeah.
So I play a suspend commander deck. Darius Time was quite good in that. Not so much here. So
it's if I wouldn't discount it, like I probably would have put it in my deck just because it's like, oh, I can remove some counters and get the creatures out faster.
You do need to have suspend creatures though. It really depends. It's it depends on what it is.
Yeah. All right.
One more. Yeah.
Slivers.
Interesting. If it's just too highly costed. Triple blue is very difficult to do in limited.
Yeah.
And the effect, the body is just not great. I mean, like. The reality is that in limited you're gonna have a lot of lands on the top, and you don't have a lot of good way. You don't have access to fetch lands. You don't have access to things that shuffle your deck a lot of times. So you don't have a good ways of manipulating the top of your deck to give you additional spells to cast.
But I would have picked this just because it's like, oh, if I'm playing blue, eventually I'll have 3 blue, and because I can play with the top card of my deck revealed, I can accelerate card draw, right? Because it's like, oh, there's a land on top of my deck. I'm just going to like play that and then hope the next card is not a land and I've filtered out a land, right?
So, yes, but also there are, without a lot of fixing, it is sometimes just don't get triple blue. And also it's a 2/3, which is still within range. So
this is interesting. Between these two, I would have gone with the Beast Whisperer.
Yeah, so Beast Whisperer is a reasonable card.
Yeah.
But I think that, again, I would go for the higher power level. So I think the commons, them being bigger bodies, like the Dirkwood Baloth or something like that. The problem is that neither of these cards... I think that the Beast Whisperer is fine in green, but also I don't... I just want things that are more likely to stick, which is why I would personally go for the Dirkwood Baloth, possibly the Blight Speaker, depending on what color, or the Gorgon Recluse. Yeah. All of those things, all three of these cards, I think, are much more impactful on rate. They help you win the game faster. These other cards help you look for answers, help you draw. Perfectly good cards, but I don't think first pickable. I think you want the power of the Baloth or the Recluse or the Blight Speaker, depending on what colors you're in.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's me personally. Obviously, I think the Beast Whisperer and Megas of the Future are good if you're already in those colors, but if this is pack one, pick one, probably not so much so. And all of these things are relative, obviously. If this is pack one, pick one, I think that I probably do take the Baloth here just because it's...
Really?
It's a 5/5. Have you read this card? How many removal spells other than the one black one destroy this?
But he's so slow. Like, he's so late in the game.
Well, so that's the thing about Suspend, right? I mean, like, early on, that's what, we have no problems with saying if Aaron Ephemeron is good, we have no problems with those sort of things. Early on, the Suspend waiting a little bit of time is fine. There's not that many aggressive decks in this format. You don't usually get run over that quickly. And late, you can just hard cast it for a 5/5 for 6. So, nothing wrong with that. Search for Tomorrow, a classic card, but not particularly great as a first pick.
Another 4/4 flyer.
Yeah. With Suspend that we're perfectly happy with casting. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Oh, that's a funny card, but not particularly great.
That's terrible. Even I'm like, I am not playing that shit.
Phantom.
Okay, I remember this being good.
Yeah, it's not,
a 6/4.
It is, but also it's an uncommon, right? Icarus Slick does make it a little bit less, so if you manage to knock off one toughness, Icarus Slick will still kill it. I think it's definitely a reasonable card to be taking.
That's terrible.
Not terrible, but it's not the worst.
Soldiers you control. Oh, this is very conditional.
It's conditional. It's fine. Vampire Hexmage, and not particularly great. Oh, Magic Art. Oh,
they don't draw them like this anymore.
And a Reflex Liver. Interesting. Yeah, so this is an interesting pack, actually. So, not all the packs are going to be easy picks. I don't think the Commander is necessarily good enough to be a first pick. I think the Phantom Worm is probably reasonable as a first pick. There is an argument to be had to take the Aaron Ephemeron.
This deck is going to be 1 or 2 drop Suspends and 6 casting cost creatures.
Well, right, and so the thing is that the reason why I think I lean the Aaron Ephemeron is because it has flying. It has the evasion that we're looking for.
Yeah.
This gets clogged on the board. So if you end up playing against a deck with a lot of things like Saprolings, which you would see in green, possibly some soldiers if you're playing in white, they'll just chump it a few times. This gets smaller and smaller and does nothing.
Yeah.
This deals 4 damage in the air. If they do not have removal for this, they are dead in about 4 or 5 turns. Right? That's usually how
That's a good way to think about it. Like, how many turns can I kill you?
Right. Right. Because this doesn't have trample. So the Phantom Worm... If your opponent, so in certain decks, it's probably, against certain matchups, it's probably fine. Against other matchups where they make a lot of 1/1s, this gets significantly worse. So I think I go with the Aaron Ephemeron. I don't think the Commander is necessarily that great. You need a lot to invest into it to make it good, I think.
I'm really curious how this will work when we do like some of the newer sets. It's like for this set, I feel like there's definitely a cookie cutter style. It's like, okay, if I grab all these 4/4s, then I should be good. But that's not going to be true in other sets, right?
Correct. Yeah. So one of the things with older Magic sets is that all the blue players, for example, will be playing Aaron, or will be looking for Aaron Ephemeron, right? Those sort of things. Whereas in newer sets, some of the cards are meant to support specific archetypes that are in a color combinations. This is probably one of the better red commons, by the way, because late game it's almost guaranteed to be a 5/5, and you can use it as you can use morph as a madness enabler. So one of the better red cards.
Nice.
Yeah. It's kind of very conditional. Really depends on that. Mana fixing, not particularly great. More mana fixing.
Okay, here's a rare. Let's see what we got.
Orphery Notes. Oh boy. Yeah. Probably not great. It's
like a really bad removal.
Sylvan Shrine. Oh, lovely. Okay, well.
Hold on. Could be a foil.
Meteor.
There we go.
Yes.
Hey, it's got suspend.
It also cannot hit face, which is kind of a problem. All right.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
13 mana, 13 damage to the face.
So this is I actually think that the pick might be, because there's just nothing else here that I would really consider first pick. I think it's the Gathan Raiders. The fact that it's a morph that almost guaranteed becomes a 5/5, and it's just a weak pack. Sometimes you just get weak packs. There's not a lot you can say about that. Yeah. That happens in drafts sometimes.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, but at least there's a clear first pick. One of the things that is interesting is that we haven't actually seen any Gemhide Slivers. That's probably one of the best green commons. The ability to, and green does have the ability in this format to go multiple colors other than 2. Blue could do that a little bit, but yeah, Gemhide Slivers are the main thing.
More lights.
Reasonable card. Reasonable pick. There's the Gemhide Sliver, right? So
you called it.
Yeah. Very, very strong green card. This is a reasonable white card, has some evasion.
This one's
Riftbolt,
gold.
probably the best red common because it's good removal.
Yep.
Yeah, see a much better pack. Got his Anthem.
Alright, here we go. Ooh, we got a mythic.
Yeah, I think this is probably bomby enough for me to take.
Really?
Obviously better if your opponent is not playing white because it buffs their white creatures too, but it also gets rid of a lot of 1/1 saprolings, goblins, those sort of things, and not all those 1 toughness things. So yeah, I think this is probably the bomby and D-bomb that we've opened so far.
Hey, it's upside down.
Wow. That's
all right. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's what the hell?
How did we get a mythic and a rare?
This pack was fucked up.
Okay, we got an extra rare. Okay, well, okay then.
I wonder how many cards we got in this pack.
I haven't seen that before.
All right, let's see. So we got the throwback card. Yeah. We got 2 rares, 3 mythics, 3 uncommons, 5, 10. Yeah, we got an extra card in this pack.
Hooray!
Congratulations.
Okay, well, I think it's the Crowbacks, and there's not a lot else I can say about that. There's an argument to be said for the Greater Gargadon. Certainly, it's very big.
Yeah.
But the fact that it doesn't have trample is kind of a waste, to be honest. At least the Crowbacks acts as somewhat of a removal / pump. Yeah.
This was a pretty decent pack.
This was a very good pack. I mean, the Gemhide Sliver is very good. The
White Speaker
is reasonable. But yeah, there was interesting cards in this pack, other than the fact that we had 2 rares. Well, I've never seen that one before, but I guess
it happens.
Hey, now you have evidence.
Yes,
evidence that sometimes they make mistakes.
All right, well. If you guys enjoyed that, this was Hawnley's idea. He sponsored the packs and was like, "Hey, let's do a series where we talk about like what we would pick in these packs." So if you enjoyed that, please like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
And maybe we can do it for newer sets. Dominaria Remastered comes out this week, so maybe we can sit down and do that.
And as we talked about in our last video, we have a Times Square Master Draft that through TCG Fix over at the Game Parlor this weekend.
That's right.
So, hopefully you learned something, and if I see you there at draft, maybe you'll beat me with my own knowledge.
You've given away the secret. Now everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, where are the 4/4s?"
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely check out the website, pick up some boxes, some packs. And if you're in the Bay Area, jump into one of my on-demand drafts of some of these older sets I have. I think Commander Legends is on the docket next. We've got Cons, Dominaria, Time Spiral Remastered, and so we're just kind of playing these throwback drafts and
original Dominaria.
Yes, original right Dominaria. Yeah, so there you go. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
See you later.
Bye.